Hi, Jess. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What are we doing today?
We are podcasting, and we have Bryan from the Oxford Public Library with us.
Wonderful. Well, welcome, Bryan. How are you today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we're going to talk really quickly about how you don't normally do this. So we're very excited to have you here today. Thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome. I'm on camera quite a bit in my career and in the media, but podcasting is not something I typically agree to do. So.
Okay. Well, this could be the beginning of a new chapter for you. Soon we'll have like the library podcast going.
Oh, that would
That would be actually really good. See, we're working together already. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about your background. How long have you been with the Oxford Public Library?
I've been with Oxford Public Library roughly 19 years. I think I'm in my 19th year now.
Okay.
What really got me involved in libraries is not necessarily libraries, but education.
Mm-hmm.
My undergrad work is in secondary education, English major, history minor. And as I was leading up to student teaching, I kind of felt like teaching I love teaching, but it wasn't something I felt like I wanted to do every day, especially when you take that first step into the classroom. And I'm not here to insult teachers, because they're very important, and the role that they do is significantly important to our communities and our young youth. But it wasn't something I wanted to do every day. And so understanding that, I pivoted, went right from my undergrad work into my master's program at Wayne State, pursued a master's in library science, and I never looked back. It was something that I love doing, and something that I've just really enjoy. And it gives me the best of both worlds, because I do get to teach, but at a different level than what I would be doing if I were teaching in the classroom.
Right. And you said that you had a history before the Oxford Public Library with different libraries. Is that correct?
Correct. I've been in the industry about 30 years, a little over 30 years. About 22 of those have been in administration. This is my third library system that I've been employed with. And by far, I always think, how can you find something better, right? But and I really, at the time, wasn't even looking to come to Oxford, if I'm being completely frank with you. It was a situation where I was sitting in my office at my previous library, and I got a call from a recruiting firm, and they knew who I was, and said, "Hey, Bryan, we think Oxford would be a good fit for you." And I'm thinking, no, I don't.
I don't agree.
Well, it wasn't that I disagreed with that. I just, at that time, I wasn't looking to make any change. And after several phone calls and emails later, I decided to do a professional courtesy and come and meet with the board here. And it just was a natural fit, something that I didn't even realize was there, and kind of caught me off guard. But it's a good catch you off guard, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been here now, like I said, about 18 years, a little over 18 years, and the longest I've been with any of the library systems I've been with, and I love it.
What are some of the things, because that's quite some time to be with the same organization, same location. What are some of the things that you've accomplished in your time at the library?
Well, I'll touch on that, but to go back to what you said, it's kind of a long time to be with an organization. Oxford Public Library celebrated its 100th anniversary on July 25th. And in 100 years of its history, I'm only the fifth head librarian.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, longevity is something
wow.
that Oxford has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably common at a lot of libraries.
Okay.
But I have to say, to be number 5 in
Yeah.
100 years says something about the community.
Yeah.
It says something about the library, and about the profession in general. So I think that it's just the beginning, right? I've been here 18 years.
Yeah.
I have a long bit of my career on the second half to go yet. It doesn't have to be somewhere else. It can be here.
Yeah.
So you never know. We
Yeah.
might be celebrating 125 here.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Is that pretty common then in the industry then to have that longevity within a location?
I think it used to be very common
Okay.
to be at in a public library role to be a librarian or a library administrator for a library system for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the sort of complicated world that we live in today and the way libraries are today, I think it's becoming less common.
Okay.
But certainly I'm kind of old school, so I don't believe in jumping around. And if I'm happy where I'm at, and I
Yeah.
am, and the community treats me well, the board of directors are phenomenal people that I work with. The staff is amazing. I'm biased, of course, but I think they're amazing. And so why mess with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That's fantastic. I know both Jess and I frequent
We do.
the library quite a bit.
Yes.
So we love what you've done with, I mean, we weren't
Mhm.
here probably when you first started and what it looked like before your reign, but talk a little bit about some of your proudest accomplishments of your time at the library.
When I arrived in 2007, we were going through a very economic shortcoming. The forecast was looking pretty grim, and I knew that. So, coming into Oxford, I had a very good base to work with. The people that were there before me set the stage quite well. They gave me something that was in health, was healthy. But had we not made some changes early on, we probably wouldn't be in the economic climate or not economic climate, but we wouldn't be as stable as we are today. So I had to make some significant changes to the organizational structure of the library. I had to make some very significant budget cuts within the first 6 months that I was there. Usually I like to land in some place as an administrator and get to know the place before I make those kind of changes, but the economic climate was kind of dictating that it was going to be different than that. That being said, so we made some adjustments to the way we look at how we run the library. We made some adjustments to how we, forecast and budget for the library. And as a result of that, even when we had a situation coming out of COVID when our bond proposal that we had proposed to the community failed, we had to make some changes. We couldn't just sit stagnant. It was something that I don't believe in, my staff doesn't believe in. I don't think the community really wanted that to. So we made some additional changes and restructured a bit, and we were able to put some money away to be able to invest in the infrastructure of the library, invest in the technology, but also the capital improvement to the library too, without increasing the amount of tax dollars that we were collecting from the community. So to be quite frank, the library hasn't passed, I'm not necessarily proud of this, but the library hasn't passed a bond for capital improvement nor an operational increase in over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
We're operating on the same revenue, well, not same revenue, because thankfully we've had some economic growth in the community, but the same millage rate rolled back from Headley year after year after year.
Wow.
Our only saving grace is that we are seeing economic growth in our community, so it's kind of offset that economically. But we're able to reinvest in our library because of the things that we do and because of how I operate the financial side of the library. But there will come a day when we have to really sit down as a community and go, what does the future of the library look like? Especially our youth department. If you're familiar with that department, it's
We are.
it's like the architect
Very.
back in the day thought, little people, little room. And it doesn't work that way because little people bring big people with them,
They
right?
sure do.
So,
And snacks
right.
and toys and
so, we will have to have a serious dialogue about what that looks like. Maybe it's not the plan that we had proposed during COVID, but needless to say, we do have to make some change there.
Yeah.
talking about programming. I think both Jess and I have kids that frequent the programming at the library. So that's very, at least in my opinion, is unique and
I
very
think so.
plentiful. Can you talk a little bit about your strategy around that?
My strategy is to hire the best people I can find that are really dedicated public servants and love what they do, and then get out of the way.
I love that.
The team that I have, I mean, they're amazing. And when you think, someone leaves and we're not going to ever find someone that's quite as great as them, you find somebody that's just as great as them. And they forge their own path and make the library their own, right? They take ownership of it. So really, when you think that it can't get any better, it never ceases to amaze me. It does get better. And so the folks that are at the library today are there because they love what they do. At the children's department, they love kids. And they understand what the climate is today. They understand what parents need. And in many ways, my staff in the youth department in particular, They're not just librarians, and some of them are degreed teachers.
Hmm.
Some of them have degrees in early childhood development and even family counseling. So that diversity in the staff, and that level of education and that knowledge is what makes them successful. And so
Hmm.
they're the ones who set the stage for the programs that we offer. The bigger events like the Smithsonian events that the Smithsonian Institute events that we bring in, those I'm heavily involved in. But the day-to-day operations of the library when it comes to programming, I just like to get out of the way and
Yeah.
let them run with it because they know what they're doing and they're very good at what they do.
They are.
Very cool. Can you talk a little bit about some of the physical changes within the library? I know I participated in a tour a couple months ago, and you kind of walked through the building and shared some of the upgrades that you've made since you've been with the library. Some were very exciting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We coming out of the bond failure, we realized that we need to be able to grow and we need to be able to accommodate the changing needs of the community and the evolving world that libraries are today. We're constantly changing. We needed more meeting space, so we were able to look at we were told very quite frankly, look at the existing footprint or look at the envelope of the building and decide how you can better utilize that space. And so that's what we did. We took parts of the plan that we had for the bond and we reinvented them based on the little bit of money that we had in reserve. And we were able to reimagine some spaces there in the main atrium foyer in front of the Doublestein Garden. We now have the James Ostrander conference room. So for people who might not know who Jim Ostrander was, Jim was our building superintendent when I came on board, a phenomenal man. He has since passed away. But to maintain his legacy and to say thank you for all of the hard work and dedication that he put into that building, our board decided it was only fitting to name that room after him. So that room gets heavily used, and you can book it through our website at miopl.org. And we also reinvented the back part of our building, the part of the building that really hadn't been touched, and all the renovations that we had done internally. It remained the same. We worked with our staff and our architect to rethink the space and to make it more functional. I mean, we were dealing with furniture that was original to the building in the 90s. The space, obviously, libraries have evolved a lot since the 90s. So the way we utilize the space is much different today than it was then. So we looked at how can we rethink this space, and we were able to make a better, more cohesive space for the staff to be able to actually function and do their work that they do. Likewise, we rethought the front part of the building where our support services or all of the material that comes in and out of the library takes place, and made that more functional for them as well. And we also moved some walls and recreated some space, or we stole some space from the adult computer lab that's not as much. Mainly people are bringing their own technology into the library today. So we didn't need a whole computer lab full of computers. So we were able to rethink that space as well. We have the Library of Things, or the Random Stuff Collection, that some people call it, that from metal detectors to puzzles to games to you name it. All of that is now in the inside of the middle part of the building. So yeah, it's been a journey. Oh, and then the most significant thing, perhaps, is that we were able to set aside enough money to install a whole building backup generator. So we have a 200 kilowatt natural gas backup generator. Within about 7 to 10 seconds after the power goes out, the entire building comes back online, including parking lot. So we never have to close for weather, or not for weather, but we never have to close for power outages. But those other rare occasions outside of power outages sometimes do take precedent.
What is your favorite part of the library?
What do you mean by that?
What
Like space,
Yeah.
or I don't know, maybe
a
things that
feature?
Like a feel-good thing or a space thing or both?
Anything.
Okay.
When you walk into your library each morning, what are you like about?
Well, I'm a historian too, so
Okay.
let's kind of look at the fact that history means something to me. So to be able to step into my office every morning and look out into the Doublestein Garden, and think about for a moment and digest the people who were there before me and the hard work and dedication that they put into making the library what it is important to me. So to be able to look out into that garden every day in the middle of the atrium, is just it's a very unique perspective. Not a lot of libraries have an atrium in the middle of their building. The fireplace is just phenomenal.
Gorgeous.
I mean, I bias, of course, but I think it's probably the best fireplace in the public library in the state of Michigan. And a lot of other libraries tell me that too. So to have a several-story stone structure, double-sided, in a room like that is amazing architecturally, and design-wise, it's really cool too. And every boulder or every stone that's in that on that fireplace started its life right here in Oxford in the gravel capital.
No
That's so
kidding.
cool.
Our chairman of the board at the time was Mr. Salzwedel, Dwayne Salzwedel. He'd been on the board for like 40 years when he retired, and he worked at American Aggregate. And so when the architect said, "We're going to bring these stones for your fireplace down from the Upper Peninsula," he's like, "No, you're not. We have those right here, and we're gonna implement them right from Oxford." So
That's
that
cool.
history, that the care that was put into making Oxford Library what it is, I think is across the board. Many people is what makes it the success that it is. Now, a lot of people give me credit for that because I'm the director, but I have to admit that it's really many, many, many other people that put their heart and soul into the building and the facility and the community to make it what it is.
So let's talk a little bit about some things that are going on there that you want to share. I know you just had a very large event last week, 2 weeks ago.
The 25th,
Okay.
July 25,
Yeah.
2025.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. We celebrated the official 100th anniversary celebration on our anniversary date, which was July 25th. And that event was a gala fundraising event at Indianwood Golf and Country Club. It was an amazing evening. We had a lot of fun. We learned a little bit about the history of the library, but we raised a little bit of money for the endowment too. Our endowment is housed at the Fork County Community Foundation in Romeo, and they've been doing a phenomenal job with our fund and helping us grow. And so we were very fortunate to raise some money for the endowment, but also celebrate the legacy of the library at the same time.
That's wonderful. And you have a celebration coming up next week?
We do. I think it is the 13th of August. I think from 6 to 8 at the library. We have the family-friendly celebration of 100 years, and we have so many things. I'm not even going to list them all.
There's
here,
so many.
Yeah.
from
it's going to be really fun.
from I think balloons to face painting to maybe a petting zoo.
I believe so.
There's
to
food
food
trucks.
trucks.
Yeah.
And everything in between, right?
Yeah.
So that should be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Very exciting. So what do you like best about Oxford, working in Oxford, being within the community?
I think Oxford brings a small town feel that you don't get everywhere. I'm originally I grew up in Armada, which is even a smaller town than Oxford. And to be able to enjoy that small town feel, where you walk down the sidewalk and you know everybody and everybody knows you. Well, everybody. I oftentimes have people come up to me and say, "You're the guy on the magazine that comes to my house." Right? And I'm like, "Yeah," but I have no clue who they are.
Yeah.
But at any rate, to have that small town atmosphere, that feel that you can't replicate or you can't create it, it just exists, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's something that I think a lot of small towns have, and that's something you lose when you get into the larger cities. And the fact that we've held on to that, although we're growing exponentially, and there may come a time when that feeling kind of fades away. But if we can hold on to it as long as we can, I think that's it will do us a lot of good.
Absolutely. Do you have any questions, Jess?
I don't think so.
No. Well, while you are not technically in the DDA district, we always considered you part
Mhm.
of what we do, and we always love to partner with you when we can. Like I mentioned, both personally, Jess and I love the library. Our kids go there all the time. We visit very frequently, so we see the value and we appreciate everything that you've done for the library.
Mhm.
Well, I appreciate that, and the DDA is a significant economic catalyst in the community. We like to think that we're part of that economic catalyst too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything that we can do together to make the community better and the quality of life better for the people who live there is, I think, it's never a bad thing,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah. In the words of famous supervisor Jack Curtis, we're all 48371, right? And I loved when he said, when I heard him say that for the first time. And I truly do believe that. I mean, we're a relatively small town, even within the township. When we look at our retail, our commerce, we are a relatively small area. And so working together just makes that synergy. And there's no reason not to.
Well, I agree. And when I lived in the village and I served on town council, it was always a challenge to try to get the folks in the township to believe that they're
Mm.
part of the village and the people in the village to think that they're part of the township. That's a struggle still ongoing.
Yeah.
But I think we are getting closer to that.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
maybe
I hope so.
perhaps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what happened in the past, we have to let go, right?
Mhm.
Because we can't dwell on that.
Yeah.
We can only move forward and make things better for everybody.
Exactly.
I agree.
Well, thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here. Any final words that you wanted to share before we end?
Just that, if there's anybody listening that has not been to the library, I would encourage them to get in the car or
Mhm.
take a
Mhm.
walk to the library
Yeah.
and actually see what it's about. Because there's a lot of people that have this misconception that with Google today, we don't need the public library.
Mhm.
And that couldn't be farther from the truth because there's a lot of really crummy stuff on the internet
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
people get into, and to know that we still need libraries and we still need librarians. I mean, they've been around for thousands of years, and I think they're going to probably be around for thousands
Yeah.
more.
Mhm.
It's if we're not reinventing ourselves, that's shame on us. But at the same token, there's still so many items that get checked out from the library, so many programs that people take advantage of, that it's not for people that say, oh, that's so old, or that's a dinosaur, or it's a dying breed. They truly don't understand what the library
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
So I would challenge each one of those individuals to come into the library and sit down with me. And if they want to know a little bit about what we do, I'd be more than happy to walk them through that process.
You heard that here. He will sit down with you. Clear your calendar. No, and one other thing, just really quickly to note for those that maybe don't, the library can be accessed through the Pollyant Trail.
Mhm.
So there's like a little trail that goes from the Pollyant Trail to the library for ease of access as well.
There is, in fact, not to let the cat out of the bag completely, but
Oh.
the newsletter, the glossy magazine that some
Mhm.
people say that I'm on the front of the cover of, is the newest issue is going to be released here probably within a week and a half, and I talk about that exactly.
Oh, fantastic.
nice.
Great minds.
Yeah, so timing.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So, well,
Yep.
thank you again for coming. We love the library. We're happy to partner with anything that we possibly can. Reading is so important for me and my family, and I
Yeah.
think Jess can agree. All of the programming that you offer really entices kids to want to come to the library and make it kind of just a normal stop. I mean, we're there multiple times a week.
Yeah.
My daughter rips through books so quickly. She has to go multiple times a week to get more. So,
And the nice thing too is if you bring kids to the library, there's a park right next door, so you can visit the library
Yes.
and play. We always have a time of like playing inside with library toys, and then we go to the
Mhm.
park. You can walk on the trails back there. Like you
Mhm.
can really make it into an afternoon if you
that's
go
very
visit
true.
the library.
And there's a fish. There's lots
There
of
is
fish
there's
coming
Winston.
in. Winston.
Winston's a big deal in my house.
I just
so.
learned that he's 34. Is that correct?
34,
Approximately.
37. I
Okay.
mean, he's up there.
He is in
Yeah.
his middle age.
He's- when I first started working in Oxford, the joke was if anything ever happened to Winston, I better have my resume ready. Well, I think I probably earned my keep by now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I
then
think
it was
so.
the joke was we got to keep Winston. We're going to have a Smithsonian exhibit, so we got to keep him going to the Smithsonian exhibit, and then we have another Smithsonian exhibit, and we got to keep him going there. And then it was he has to stay alive for the 100th
100th.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, Winston is really up in age and he's not in good health.
Oh, okay.
And we are treating him, and we don't know how much longer we're really going to have the fortune of
Okay.
having him in that aquarium. But while we have him, we're going to make sure that his life is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that.
We just ask that, if parents are listening and they're bringing their kids in, try to make sure that the kids aren't slapping the side of the aquarium
Yeah.
or tapping on it. Because
Yeah.
when you're, think about it. In fish ages, he's probably like 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And he's already sick. So let's try to be conscientious
Keep it
of that,
calm. Yeah.
so that we're not stressing him out.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, our good thoughts are going towards Winston.
Absolutely.
Well, again, thank you so
Thank
much. We
you.
appreciate your time. We'll just wrap up over here. What do we have going on, Jess?
Well, we're winding down.
Oh, the summer's almost over.
Yes.
On the way here, I'm not kidding. I passed a tree that the leaves started to change.
Oh, gosh.
It always makes me so sad because I'm like, it's August. I
So
mean,
sad.
I'm not ready. I'm
No.
not ready for this yet.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So we only have 2 concerts and markets left.
Yeah.
This Thursday, the 7th, and then Kids Night is the 14th.
Yeah. Our line dancing's over.
Yeah, line dancing's over. Our cornhole is till the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost done.
Yep. And then we have a break until Scarecrow
Yeah.
Fest on October 5th.
So we're starting to plan that.
Yep. And Riley,
And right.
you're leaving us this
So
week.
sad.
It is sad. So Riley's
is.
last day is
So if
Thursday.
you come down to the concert,
Wish-
bid farewell
Yeah.
to Riley.
We will miss you.
I'll miss
Yeah.
it
Most
too.
definitely. So yeah, we will have a little bit of a slower month trying
Yeah.
to prep for Scarecrow Fest, but after that, we're rocking it out with
Yeah.
Scarecrow Fest, Witches Night, Soup and Sweet,
Yeah.
Holiday
Polar
Market,
Express.
Polar Express, Small Business Saturday. I think we have Downtown Day in there at the end of September,
Mhm.
so we need to
Yeah.
take a very big breath before we get going. One other thing I know we should probably address for our listeners is the trolley.
Mhm. Yes.
I know we've gotten a lot of
Feedback.
thoughts and concerns about the trolley. I will share what I can is that the trolley has been in the shop for repairs. Those have been taken care of. Right now, we are in the process of renegotiating coverage for the trolley, which is the reason why it's offline. Once we get that sorted out, we hope that that will be within the next week or two and that the trolley will be back in motion. So more to come. We'll keep people updated on our Facebook page and our website around the status of the trolley. But we miss her. She's a good one. So she's ready to go when we get the thumbs up for that. Anything else that I'm
think
forgetting?
so.
No? All right. Well, thanks again,
Thank
Bryan,
you,
for your
Bryan.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Riley, for your service this summer.
Thank you.
Didn't know what you were getting into, but you made it.
Made it.
You made it.
Yes.
So have a good day.
Bye.